Hello everyone, good morning all of you. Welcome to you all in today's first online session of S7 revision. Now today we are going to do the revision of chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. The name of our chapter number 1 is Building with Bricks. In this we are solving some sums regarding the bricks, as well as we study the unitary method, different types of views, faces, vertex and edges. And the chapter number 2 is long and short. In this chapter we see and study some sums of measurement of length, that is of meter, kilometer and centimeter. So let us quickly revise all the topics of semester 1. So let us start with chapter number 1, and in that we are going to study the difference between 2D and 3D shapes. But before study the difference between 2D and 3D shapes, we are going to see what is the define, and remember that what is the 2D shape and 3D shapes. 3D shapes means the shapes having 3-dimensional, and 2D shapes means the shapes having 2-dimensional. Which is the 2-dimension? That is of length and breadth. And what is the 3-dimension? That is the length, breadth and height. So we can say that the 2D shapes are flat. It's a simple. Whereas the 3D shapes are not flat. Why? Because it has some height. And just because of that height, we can say that 3D shapes are not flat. Whereas we can say that the 2D shapes have some corners and some sides. As you can see in this, here, this 2D shape is this side, and here this is the corner. Whereas the 3D shapes having the edges, some height and the vertices, or we can say that some faces are there. Example of 2D shapes are the circle, square and rhombus. Rhombus means one type of quadrilateral. Whereas the examples of 3D shapes are sphere, cone and cylinder. These are the different shapes of 3D shapes. Now let us see the define for corner, edges and vertex. Corner, another name for the corner, that is the vertex, and the plural form of vertex is vertices. What is the meaning of vertex or corner? A point where two or more sides or surface, or we can say that edges are joined. See here, this is the first side and this is the second side. Where these both sides are meet each other, that is known as the corner. So how many corner of a cuboid or a cube? So we can say that there is 8 vertex. Now what about the faces? Faces means a flat surface of the 3D shapes. If any of the 3D shapes is there, then the flat surface is known as their faces. How many faces are there? There are 6 faces are there, or we can say that from 6 different views we can see any of the 3D shape. And as we know already, the shape of the brick is also 3D shape. Now what about the edges? Edges means we can say the sides. A plane a place where two surfaces join. This one is first and this one is second. So this both is known as the sides or the edges. And how many edges are there? 12 edges are there. We can say that a brick, the shape of the brick is like a cuboid. So cuboid having 8 vertex, 6 faces and 12 sides. Which are that? Let us see. Now see here, this is the length of the cuboid, this is the height of the cuboid and this is the depth, or we can say that breadth of the cuboid. Now previously we see that there are 6 faces are there. Faces means we can see any of the 3D shapes from 6 different views. From 6 sides we can see the cuboid. How? And which are that? So see here, this one is the front face. Second one is the top. From the front view we can see any of the 3D shape. From the top view you can see from the back view. Then one on left hand side, one on right hand side, and in the last from the bottom side you can see this cuboid. So like this there are the 6 different faces. Now how many vertex are there? So you can see that in the front side there are the 4 vertex. 1, 2, 3 and 4. From top side you can see there is 2 vertex. Now one vertex on left hand side and another vertex that is behind this all, that is the right hand side. So how many vertex are there? So total there are 8 vertex are there. Now how many sides are there? How many edges are there? As we already see that there are the 12 edges. Front side you can see 4 edges. Then top side 3 edges, back side also 3 edges and one edges, one side on left hand side and right hand side. Like this way there are the 12 edges of cuboid of brick. Now which of these is the face of the brick? See here I am giving 4 different faces. From this, which one is the face of the brick? Yes, this one is the face of the brick. Now the next one. Which of these looks like a brick? Previously I am giving the shape. Which shape looks like a brick? In this, you have to tell me that which one is look like a brick. So yes, this one is looks like a brick because this is the 3D shapes. And this cuboid, and we know that the shape of the brick is like the cuboid. Now let us solve some true and false. The first one is that a brick has 6 rectangular faces. Means what? A brick has a 6 faces? Yes or no? If it is yes, then you have to tell me that all the shapes are in the rectangle shape? Yes. So this one is true. Now the second one is that a face is a covered surface. If you see any of the face of the rectangle, then it looks like a covered surface. Yes or no? No. All the surface are flat. Simple. No one has covered surface. Then the next one face of the brick is in the shape of the square. If you see any of the face of the brick, then it looks like a square or not? No. All the face of the brick is in the form of square, not in the form of square, all in the form of rectangle. So this one is also false. See the next sum of the true false. We can see only four faces of the brick in the given diagram. See in this, how many faces you can see? You can see only and only three faces. 1, 2 and 3, which are that? Front view, top view and side view. But in this they were saying that you can see four faces of a brick. No. So this one is false. And the last one, a brick has 8 vertex. How many vertex? Yes. Here it is 8 vertex. So this statement is true. Now, let us talk about the brick patterns. There are different patterns you studied in the bricks, building with bricks chapter. Now your question is that according to you, which one is the strongest wall and why? See here, I am giving here two brick patterns to you, and from this two patterns you have to tell me that which one is strongest wall. And with the reason you have to give me the answer. See here, this one is the first and here it's second one. Which one is the strongest wall? So we can say that the first wall, this one is the strongest. Why? Because you can see here there is a less gap. Less gap means what? Minimum distance between the bricks of the wall. See here, in this there is a small gap between two bricks, and the weight of this brick is divided into two. Then after, the weight of this two is divided in three part portion, whereas you can see in this one all the weight of all the walls on only and only on the same part. So we can say that this one is not the strongest wall. Now your second question is that what is the difference between the Jali pattern and Jarokha pattern? Here you can see this is the two images of one for Jali and another for the Jarokha pattern. What is, you can see there is some difference between the Jali and Jarokha pattern. Yes, you can see there is too much big difference between Zari and Zalokha pattern. But what is that? That you have to write down in your own words. So we can say that Jali pattern means what? There is a small gap between the bricks. If you see between the bricks, there is the so much, too much less difference, small gap. Whereas you can see that in the Jarokha pattern means open brick wall. Here this is the wall, but this wall is open. So this is known as Jarokha pattern and this one is known as the Jali pattern. In a Jali pattern, there is only small gap between two bricks within the bricks. Now, you have to tell me here what is the manufacturing process of a bricks. If anyone wants to make the brick, then which step he or they wants to be followed? So the first one, they have to prepare for the clay. The first step which involved in manufacturing process of brick, that is the preparation of clay. Like this way you have to first prepare clay. Now the second one, after preparing the clay, they want to molding of the clay, molding by hand or molding by machine. If there is a small scale business, then they have to follow the first one. If that one is the large scale business, big business, then they are following, they are doing the molding with the machine. Now the third one is drying of raw bricks. After molding of the clay, they want to dry that all bricks like this way. And the last step after drying of the raw bricks is burning of bricks like this. They wants to burning. So these are the steps to be followed for making the bricks. Now you have to find out the cost of one brick from the cost of 1000 brick. Here in this table, first I am giving the cost of brick. This cost of brick I am giving in 1000. Then you have to show the method how you find out the cost of one brick. Here you have to find out the cost of one brick. Here I am giving the cost of 1000 bricks. So see here, first rupees 6000. This 6000, that is the cost of 4000 bricks. Now which method, how you can solve, how you can find out the cost of one brick? So what you want to do? From many you have to find out one, so you have to do the division. So see here, do the division. 6000 divided by 1000. So 6000 divided by 1000 is equal to rupees 6. Then after 10,000. So again here you want to find out the cost of one brick. So do the division. 10,000 divided by 1000. How many zeros are there? 3 zeros are there. So just cut 3 zeros. So what is the cost of one brick? That is the rupees 10. Now the cost of brick is rupees 4000. So here again you have to subdivide 4000 divided by 1000. In 1000 3 zeros are there. So in a 4000 also cut these 3 zeros. So how many rupees are there? 4 rupees are there. Then after 15,000. This 15,000, that is the cost for 1000 bricks. So now here you have to do the division of 15,000 divided by 1000. So 30 and 30 are cut. So what is the remaining? Rupees 15, that is the remaining. So we can say that the cost of one brick is rupees 15. And in the last, the cost for the 1000 brick is 5000 rupees. So do the division. 5000 divided by 1000. 30 and 30 cut. So what is the cost for the one brick? So we can say that the cost for the one brick is rupees 5. Like this way, if you want to find out the cost of one thing from the many things, then you have to do the division. But what about if you want to find out the cost of many things from the one thing? Yes, what do you want to do? At that time you have to do multiplication. Let us see one another. That is the sums of brick pattern. Navneet wants to make an arc of 4 cm long around the friend's park. How many bricks will he need to make the arc if one brick measure is 20 cm long? So here they are asking that Navneet wants to make one arc, and that arc, the measurement of that arc is 4 meter. He wants to make. Now you have to find out here how many bricks are needed to make 4 meter long arc if the length of one brick is 20 centimeter. But you can see here they were given two measurement. One measurement in meter and second one in centimeter. So here first you have to convert this meter into centimeter. So our first step is to convert meter into centimeter. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So 4 meter is equal to question mark. So the number which written in the cross, do the multiplication. So here you have to do the multiplication of 4 multiplied by 100. 4 multiplied by 100 is equal to 400 centimeter. Now instead of this 4 meter, you can write down 400 centimeter. Now we have to find out the number of bricks. So we can say that 20 centimeter, that is the measurement for one brick. So 400 centimeter is equal to question mark. Now the number which written in the cross, do the multiplication. So here you have to do the multiplication of 400 multiplied by 1. 400 multiplied by 1 is equal to 400. And 20, that is the remaining. So this 20 we have to write down in the division. So 400 divided by 20 is equal to how many bricks are there? 20 bricks are there. Therefore, we can say that 20 bricks are needed to make the arc of 4 meter long. How many bricks are needed? 20 bricks are needed. Now, the second chapter, that is the long and short. The standard unit of length is, that is the meter. Then 1 kilometer is equal to how many meters are there? 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. Then 1 meter is equal to how many centimeter? Yes, we can say that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Here your first MCQ is that, first filling the blank is that, which is the standard unit of length. Now what is the meaning of standard unit? Standard unit means the unit which we are using in everything. That is the meter. If you want to measure, then measure in majority of the cases you can use this unit of length. This measurement of length, that is the meter. We are not using the kilometer everywhere, we are not using the centimeter everywhere, because these both are, one is the biggest unit and the another one, that is the smallest unit. So the standard unit of length is meter. Now the another one is that, if my height is 134 centimeter, then it is in meter. How many meters are there? So as we know already, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. So this last, that is your centimeter, and before that whatever they were written, that is your meter. So we can say that 134 centimeter is equal to 134 meter, or you can write down that 1 meter and 34 centimeter. This both you can write down. Now your another question is, if the distance between from your school to your home, that is the 500 meter, then the distance in kilometer is, if you want to find out, if you want to convert this 500 meter into kilometer, then you can say that in the word, there is the distance between from my school to my home, that is the half kilometer, or we can say that 0.500. Here nothing you have to write down meter, here you have to write down 0.500 kilometer, or in a words you can say that that is the half kilometer. Now see the next one. Here in this figure you can see some letters are there. A, B, C, A to H is there, and the distance between these all dots I am giving. So according to this figure you have to give me the answer. See, your first question is that, what is the distance between B and E? The distance between B to E. B to E, that is the 6.5 centimeter. So what do you want to do? Here in this case you have to do the addition of these three measurement. 4 centimeter plus 1 centimeter plus 1.5 centimeter. So 4 plus 1 5, and 5 plus 1, that is the 6. 6.5 centimeter. So this is the true answer. This is the correct answer. Now your second question is that, The smallest distance between the two consecutive letters is 1 centimeter. See here, consecutive means after one after one. So see here, the distance between these two consecutive is 1 centimeter. Distance between these two consecutive letters is 1 centimeter. Yes. So this is the true. Now the next one. The maximum distance between two consecutive letters is 4.5 centimeter. See here, this both is the consecutive letters, but the distance between these 2 points is 4 centimeter. Another one, this is also two consecutive letters, but the distance between these 2 points is 4 centimeter. So this is not true. This is false answer. This is the false statement. See one another one. A 200-meter cycle race was organized in Mumbai. A picture is taken at the finishing line that is shown below here. Here you can see that here finish line is given. Then some players that given in the letters and the distance between them is given. So your first question is that how much distance cyclist A has to cover to win the race? If cyclist A wants to win this race, then how much distance he has to be covered? So you can see here this player A is just 5 meter away from the finishing line. So how much distance he or she has to cover? So we can say that 5 meter. If they are covering the distance of 5 meter, then he or she has to win the race. Now your next question is that write down the distance of each cyclist from the finishing line. So you can see here cyclist A, that is the 5 meter away from the finishing line. Now what about the B? B is away how many meters? 5 meter plus 2 meter, 7 meter away from the finishing line. Now what about the C? C is away 2.5, 2 and 5 meter away from the finishing line. So for the cyclist C, what you want to do? You have to add all three measurements, 5 meter plus 2 meter plus 2.5 meter. 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2 9. That is the 9.5 meter away from the finishing line. Now what about D? For the D, just do the addition of these all measurement. 3 plus 2.5 plus 2 plus 5. So 5 plus 2 7. 7 plus 2.5 9.5 and plus 3. That is the 12.5 meter. What about cyclist E? Do the addition of all these measurement, all 5 measurement. 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2.5 9.5 plus 3 12.5 plus 1, that is the 13.5. I hope you all revise and all understand these all sums of your chapter number 1 and 2. For another sum, just revise my previous video and this video also, which one helpful in your semester exam. Thank you.